it is me, Snare the Lavish Alchemist. Welcome to my channel. On my channel, I like to have discussions on the esoteric, the occult, and spiritual things that I like to teach, right? Okay, so today, I know it's been a while, first of all. It's been a while. I have just been on my own hiatus, on my own little hermit mode, hermit phase. And plus, it's Virgo season, and Virgo is the hermit. So I think I'm just in tune. I'm in tune. So I'm just gonna warn you guys, if my nose gets itchy and I keep itching my nose, I that happens to me when I have a lot of angels around me. I have a lot of angels around me. My nose tends to itch. I asked them to be around me, especially today, because of today's topic. I was doing my own thing, and I think I was cleaning after I had just prayed on my altar, and really Gabriel, which I haven't, well, I wouldn't say I haven't connected to Gabriel, but the angel Gabriel, for some reason, was just kept giving me revelations, and mostly about the Immaculate Conception of Mary, okay? This topic is about Christ and how Christ was born. Uh, yes, and I had to like really look. I had to look for the scripture. It's Luke 1 about Mary conceiving Jesus and all of this stuff. I thought it was always very interesting growing up, being taught Christianity, and how all of a sudden, there was this woman and God had favored her out of all the other women, and she was somehow special. And she was chosen amongst all other women to be the one to bear this amazing prophet or this Messiah that she would be conceiving, right? And now, being a person that has learned spirituality, that knows certain things, that came back to me, and I was like, it just hit me. I've been channeling a lot lately, but it just hit me out of nowhere. And Gabriel was like, I didn't just go to her that time, and it wasn't the first time I had spoken to her. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And, you know, being who I am now, having gone through so many spiritual awakenings and whatever, it makes sense. Gabriel is like, we had, always had contact with her. Mary was being reminded of an agreement that she had already made. And this was just a reminder that, hey, remember that agreement that we had? Now is the time. And I was like, that's interesting. Because if you think about it, whatever, and it was also a type of initiation for Mary. She had been through a lot of initiations. Gabriel was telling me, no, she had been through a lot of initiations, which is the only, for me as a spiritual person now, it's the only way that whole thing makes sense. Why do I say so? Think about it. Women back then were probably already very obedient, and they were probably always doing what they were supposed to do. There's no way that it was just a random pick or you have favor. I've realized what favor means in the Bible, actually. These are contracts. Mary had a contract. And I really believe, and I'm being shown, that throughout as she was growing, she was probably not like other girls in the sense that, not like she's, in a sense that she had probably already seen divine beings. She was probably always dreaming of divine beings. She probably always dreamt of divine beings. She probably always had astral projections where she'd be taken to places, being told things. I know for certain angels were probably always working on her body, because a woman like Mary, for her to even be, and for what had happened at that time to happen, meaning the conception of Christ, that takes a certain kind of womb. That is an ancient occult practice. That is an ancient sex magic type of practice. That's sex magic, basically. It's the highest form of sex magic, right? And it's something that you will see in other occult practices with other cultures where it would have to be a type of goddess that has a certain type of power to conceive without a man. That is something that was even done in the Amazon, but it's very deep occult type of practice, a very deep occult sex type of magic. So Mary had always been guided. She would have to be a certain way. Okay, she would have had to always had dreams. She would have had to always seen things that maybe other people were not seeing in order to keep her on track. One thing about people that have been chosen to facilitate huge movements, because what she did was huge. Look at the Roman Catholics. Ask yourself why they worship the mother so much, the Mary, the mother. They have a huge emphasis on her. And I believe it's because deep, 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 they actually know what she stands for. If you look at Isis and Hathor in Egypt, those Hathor is a Venusian, Isis is a Syrian goddess, right? That is kind of like the same thing that happened with Mary and Mary Magdalene, if you think about it, right? Isis in the goddess pantheon of things working with God, she is the first, she's the number one. She is actually an ascended master. She's number one. You start with Isis. That's what I was taught. I was when I was initiated by a Venusian into goddesshood. You start with Mother Isis. She is the womb of all. That's Isis in this instance with Mary. She was what you would say was Isis or Set. Isis facilitates such deep occult knowledge. Mary was chosen before she had been on earth. Mary was fulfilling an agreement. The angel didn't just come to her and was, understand also in the Bible, certain things are cut out. One thing I've learned really about the Bible is that obviously a lot of things are cut out. Look at the verse. Luke 1. Um, we're just going to read Luke 1. In the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God to city of Galilee named Nazareth to a virgin to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary. There were a lot of women whose names were Mary, by the way. And he came to her and said, "Hail, O favored one, the Lord is with you." But she was greatly troubled at the saying and considered in her mind what sort of greeting this might be. And the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus. He will be great, and he will be called the Son of Most High, and the Lord God will give to him the throne of his father David." There's a whole thing going on there. I'm telling you right now, this was not the first encounter Mary has had with Gabriel. It's not. The Okay, now I'm being shown the womb. I'm channeling a lot right now. There were a lot of energetic. There were a lot of energetic updates and upgrades that Mary was going through within her physical body throughout her life. There's a lot of implants that the angels probably put in her. Within the womb, okay? Within the womb, there is a map. I learned this, like I said, by being initiated into goddess spirituality, the actual goddess spirituality, the power of the womb. We hear a lot of this, but I'm telling you right now, a lot of them are they're there, but they're missing the point because it's very occult. It's very deep. Within the womb, I was taught the womb map, right? Within the womb, there is a map. The labia, the lips of the womb, have a certain goddess that that is in charge. So is the vaginal canal, so is the cervix, and so is the womb itself. Is it the cervix? There's a part before the womb. Yeah, and then the whole thing is a map where certain goddesses and certain angels reside, right? I know it sounds bizarre, and some of these things I don't say on the internet because it sounds bizarre, but I was taught this, all right, by an amazing Venusian. Um, Within there, there's certain goddesses, and they facilitate certain, they have certain energies to them. They have certain teachings to them. It's a whole thing. Not gonna get into it. Mm-mm. But for Mary, for Mary to be able to conceive, there were so many Marys. There were so many Marys. There were so many devoted women. The only way that she would be the chosen favored one, that just means the agreement. If you hear favored or chosen one in the Bible, at this point, I just feel like it means that, hey, you have an agreement, you're part of a certain bloodline, you hold a certain energy. One thing about divine entities with individuals that facilitate such a big mission is that they are watched like a hawk. They have to go through certain things, and they're always being watched. And when you have such a big destiny like that and a womb, in order to facilitate, understand, Jesus or Christ is not even human because he was not conceived like a human. So it's not just any type of womb that can hold that kind of energy. I feel like people are not gonna get me. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? It's not just any womb that can hold that kind of energy. That kind of energy, not just any woman can hold it. You would have to have had um, so many initiations, first of all, so many goddesses working together to get this womb to be a womb that is able to hold such high divine energy because it's crystalline energy, it's a Christ energy, right? That's a different type of womb. That's a womb that's been prepared. That's a womb where if she is sleeping, angels are constantly coming to her, working on it. Angels and goddesses were probably constantly working on it, implanting things in her womb. That is a womb, I would even say, whose Kundalini energy is probably on another level. The Kundalini has to be on another level. Okay, this is not Mary's first rodeo in terms of um, how divine she is and how this conception is just all of a sudden, oh, by the way, Mary, Gabriel's like, oh, by the way, you're going to be pregnant and, God chose you. No, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Mary was traveling the astrals as she was sleeping. Mary was seeing things. Mary was having encounters with these beings, and maybe she had been not remembering because that's what happens sometimes. They make sure that we don't remember so that you close your mouth, you don't talk too much. Because if she was here, she would probably be being hanged or someone. So for a woman to say that, oh, God came to me and chose me and I'm divine and I'm going to do this, and that, you can get killed for that kind of stuff. I think she had to even move because people won't like to hear that, right? So I think what probably happened is that they did, angels and these divine beings like to give us amnesia so that we don't say certain things, so that you know, you don't mess up the prophecy. But I'm telling you right now, a lot of work has been done on her womb to be empowered for her to be able to hold such a divine type of energy. If it was any other woman, she would have probably died. Okay? She would have probably died. Her womb probably wouldn't have been able to facilitate such energy. And then you get Mary Magdalene after that. It's just like, I don't know. I think I might need to do a part two because I'm so like, wait, Gabriel was telling me this. I was like, yeah, yeah. There's no way. Literally, it's just from verse 30 to 31. Um, and behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call his name. And then that's it. And you know, Mary's like, what? What do you mean? Like the, it can't just be a little paragraph. Hey, you're gonna. There is so much within that verse that even dissecting it is just a whole other level. It's just next level. It is sex magic at its finest. It is womb work. You would need so many beings to help facilitate, to help mm, make sure her womb can hold such a divine energy. Which is why if you look at, if you want, you know, if you're interested in, what do they call them, feminine energy, the divine feminine. I know we make it so many things on the internet, and I think I've probably stayed away from talking about that in particular because I don't want to seem like maybe like I'm a hater or anything. But honestly, when it comes to that, so I just wanted to fix the camera. When it comes to that, there's a lot that's left out. A lot of it is so occult. It's so deep. Divine feminine teachings, some people are just scratching the surface. I feel like where I learned it from, and who I learned it from, was really by a woman who is a Venusian herself, meaning that a Venusian incarnate, a woman that channels these goddesses because these goddesses come to her and um, give her teachings and stuff, which I received, and I'm so grateful because I'm able to. I don't know why the camera's doing that. I'm able to see or feel within myself when something is off, when whoever is teaching it. But I just want you to know, for some reason, this is important, that it wasn't that simple. Mary just didn't get chosen out of nowhere. She was fulfilling an agreement. It was agreed upon. She had a lot of work done on her womb. Her womb was empowered. That is a powerful womb, and it makes sense to me now why Roman Catholics, they focus so much on Mary. Okay, because think about it, when Christ was born, that was a whole movement. That was a whole shift in our history, um, as a collective. That has affected the collective so much. Jesus Christ was such a powerful thing back then and even still now. That form of worship or even that form of teachings and stuff like that. And there's so many of those teachings even that were so lost that you can't really find in any regular um, Bible unless you're channeling, unless you know the angels themselves are like, hey, actually, let me tell you something. I just think it's interesting. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. But Mary's case is a very powerful one. Mary's womb had always been prepared. Mary had known, but you know, they choose to make us forget. It was not that simple. It was not that simple as an angel just telling her that she was pregnant. There's a lot that happened. She had probably was going through so many initiations. That was also another form of initiation, where she finally, the womb was ready to receive such a high energy. And the reason why I say Jesus is not human, because there was no male sperm that was put inside her in order for her to conceive an actual human um, child. But he was human in the sense that he had a flesh, but his spirit was completely high vibrational. That's why he was Christ. Crystalline energy was Christ. So there was no interference of human nature in a sense that will taint what was being facilitated there. But yes, I'm gonna leave it there. Is there anything else? I'm all over the place with this channeling. Womb work is very important. I know. I feel like with some things in my journey of working with the womb and really understanding what is this power is a power that I've known about or of in a certain sense as a child, always wondering why the fact that a woman can conceive was always bizarre to me. The fact that we bleed was always bizarre. And then later on in my life, being taught certain things, working with goddesses, working with the Shakti energy. It's not just an aesthetic for me. It's not just like, oh, I'm chanting this mantra because it sounds good and I'm spiritual. Like, it's so deep. It's so, it's so deep. Tantra is so deep. It's not just about sex. It's a way of life. Like, yeah, it's deep. There's so much depth in this all. We talk about pussy power at such a basic level, and there's just so much more to it. But I don't think I'm gonna get into that today. But yes, I have missed you guys, and I know I've been MIA, but it's for the best. When I don't show up, when I do show up after taking some time, just know that I have so many more teachings. I have so many more revelations to share with you guys. And I'm really taking my time with things. I don't want to feel like I have to perform in order to be relevant. So, the people that follow me don't forget me. Like, no, that's not what this is about. I really have come to respect divine timing. One thing about my guides is that they've really humbled me when it comes to me feeling like things need to be done a certain way. Do you guys like my dress? Oh my god. Like, it's not showing. Like, why would I dress up and it's not showing? Oh, and yes, the hair is different. The hair is different. It's Mercury retrograde on top of all the other retrogrades. And I just felt like I've always wanted to do green. I didn't think it was going to come out this color. I wanted this kind of green. This is more like it was almost emerald. I don't know if it's turquoise. I don't know what this color is. It's interesting. It's an interesting color though. There's a whole lot of interesting things going on within myself. So many transformations. This transformation that I'm going through internally, I'm very happy for. It's it's not demanding. It's not demanding, but it's very interesting. I'm really happy and excited for what my guides have been, the energy that they've been sending me out lately. I really love it. But yes, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. If you follow me, just know my look is gonna change all the time. All the time my look is gonna change. You just get used to it, okay? My look is always gonna change. I'm a very vibrant, shape shifting, multi-dimensional spirit, and I like to express myself in different ways. And I hope I inspire you to express yourself in different ways if you're ever called to. Don't be afraid. Like, this human experience is very physical, so it's about experimenting with your looks. We as spirits in higher realms don't have bodies. We don't have bodies. This is the dimension in which we have bodies in. Or if we do, they probably look not like this. They probably look weird. I've seen some weird looking beings, but I don't. This is fun. Have fun with your humanity. Have fun with with the physicality of everything. Express yourself through fashion, express yourself through looks. Just have fun. Like, you're gonna leave this plane of existence, and then you're gonna be just energy. Okay. But anyway, I love you all. Um, TikTok for now. I think I should go live on TikTok to check on my people. I miss you guys a lot. but I doubt I'll be there on there consistently until I feel like I'm done with the projects that I want to do, because I want to focus. I am neurodivergent, I am ADHD, so I need to focus on, I need to, learn how to do one thing at a time, okay? I love you all. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic, actually. Yeah, it was so random. When Gabriel was just telling me these things, I was like, yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, of course, that. Why would it just be that an angel came up to her and be like, you're special, God has favored you? No. It's like when a person goes for initiation, that is an agreement that you're fulfilling that was already made a long time ago. Even people back in the day will tell you that, an ancestor will tell you, hey, I'm giving you 6 months from now, I'm going to come back and it's time for us to go. Like, come on. Come on. Okay? Come on. And I think there's so many other topics about initiation, and especially that I want to speak about. I might just actually record another video. I don't know. I'm feeling very today when I'm around angels and stuff. Like, I'm too fluid. But anyway, I love you guys.